All right, good day everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Peter. For those of you that are new here, welcome. Go ahead and hit like, comment, and subscribe. Tap that notification bell so you can know when I'm uploading to the channel. All right, you guys, so I am here to give you your ancestor message for today. And you guys, your message for today is about this path that you're on, right? About this path that you're on. I know you're like, oh my goodness, it's always about the path that we're on. Yeah, I mean, everything is about the path that we're on, but this particular one, y'all hear those winds, those are heavy winds, and they're just going to get heavier. But this particular path that you're on is like, your guides and your ancestors are kind of like pushing you in the forefront a little more, you know. It's almost like, you're more responsible for a lot of things now that you might not have been responsible for before. And so your guides and your ancestors are like pushing you in that leadership role, but up in the front more, all right? It's like you've been kind of like playing behind the scenes for a while, and it's time for you to start moving forward in this soul mission, your soul purpose. There are lots of endings and conclusions, okay? Endings and conclusions. And this could be endings and conclusions of things of this world, endings and conclusions of things within the spirit body, or endings and conclusions on all levels, all right? And so your guides and your ancestors are wanting you to know that regardless to what comes up, regardless to what you're faced with, regardless to what your situation is or what you're going through, they want you to know that you have the wisdom, to get through it. You have the wisdom to overcome it. So you have this wisdom. And they're saying that you have the antidote. And so this antidote, is to has the ability to remove any toxins, right? Any poisons that may be trying to kill you, or any poisons that may be creating a slow and painful death of something. And so this death, like mentioned, could be the death of something within the spirit body, something within the physical, or something on all levels, right? And so your guides and your ancestors are saying that you have the antidote. And they're saying that this antidote has this ability to remove all of the poisons, and the poisons can be of anything. The poisons can be any type of toxins that are moving through your system, right? And these toxins can be ancestral toxins, things that have been passed down from your family to you, that you have been trying your best to get rid of, karmic contracts that you have been trying your best to get rid of. This could be relationships that you have been trying your best to get rid of. This could be any type of entities that you have been trying to cut the cord on, any type of anything that could compromise you to a degree. Your ancestors and your guides are saying that you have the antidote to remove those toxins. And the antidote that you have is very potent, okay? And you just have to know how potent and how powerful this antidote is, okay? And so because it is so powerful, because is so, because it has that level of strength, you now have to know when to use it and how to use it. So although you have the antidote, you need to handle this antidote with care. All right, you need to handle it with care, because you don't want to erase so much of yourself that you are no longer who you were supposed to be. All right, so you don't want to eliminate so much of yourself that you're no longer who you're supposed to be. And it's almost like the shadow side of ourselves that that you try to keep at bay, or you kind of like try to run from, is not meant for you to eliminate it all the way, but yet neutralize it. Okay? Because there's going to come a time when the shadow self is going to have to assist you. Okay? So you don't want to eliminate it altogether. You want to neutralize that. But your guides and your ancestors saying that you have the antidote to rid yourself of any toxins and anything that is within your system that is causing you to be ill, or or compromising you on this path. Okay, so I'm hoping that this is making sense for a lot of you all. Your guides and your ancestors are saying that at the end of this situation, right? Because there's a situation, like some of you guys are going through a situation that's not as heavy as you. It's not as heavy as it appears, but it's definitely in the way, okay? And so your guys and your ancestors saying that, like, at the completion of this, you're going to experience joy, and you're going to be like super joyful, right? And so you have, because of this situation that you're going through, and you're asked to be the wise one, they're also wanting you to be open to information about this that's going to come in about this situation. And they're saying that, like, you may not even like who's giving you the information, okay? But they don't care who the messenger is as long as you get the message. All right, so somebody probably already came and told you something, and you probably didn't like what they were saying, and your guides and ancestors are like, look, I know you ain't like what they saying, but just listen to what they were saying for a second. You might not need all of it. You might just need that little piece, because they have me feeling like they sent that person that, just grinds your gears sometimes, and they done sent them to tell you something, and now that you got this information, now it's up to you to figure out how you're going to use this antidote to help you neutralize that threat, or help you neutralize that poison within the system. All right, but your guides and your ancestors are saying that, like, that information they sent you, that's that healing information that you needed. All right, that antidote is that healing that you needed. You've been asking them for it, and here it comes. All right, and so, like they said, it don't matter who it comes from. Okay, but there is a lot of they really wanting you to embrace that water. They want you to embrace that water, like that water energy, yo. They want you to embrace those emotions, all right? Be aware of them. Try to connect with them, because within those connections also going to reveal some things to you. You're going to have that realization. So many new realizations are going to flow through those emotions, all right? And so it's newfound perspective, very sharp. It's going to be very sharp. It's going to be hard to miss, all right? And it's going to be very accurate too. So you just connecting with those emotions so that you could tap into those messages that they're sending you, because it is like they're sending you so many different messages, and they're sending it to you at different times. You probably been getting a lot of messages this month. That's the funny thing about it. Probably even before this month. But there's so many messages that have been coming in for you. And they're like, look, whenever you get an opportunity and you get these messages, jot them down. Come back to them later. Revisit them, because they're answering questions. All right? You ask specific questions before going to sleep. You ask specific questions before starting your day. And they're giving you very specific answers and very direct answers. And so they're needing you to pay attention to all the different things that they're sending your way, the synchronicities, the animals, the things on the television, You know, you might have been on TikTok and you was talking about something and something showed up that you was talking about. That could be that confirmation that you needed. You know, you could be on, any one of these platforms and just something just comes up that you was talking about, and that's the confirmation that you needed. But just your inner knowing, man, your knowing understands. Your knowing knows, all right? And so you have to trust your knowing, all right? If you can't trust anything else, you have to trust your intuition when they're sending you these messages. And when you get to the space to where your thoughts are clear, because there were, yesterday they talked about overthinking things. And so sometimes you may have to go and put it down for a second, then pick it back up later. So when you get to that point to where your thoughts are cleared now, your guides and your ancestors are saying that after these thoughts are cleared, they want you to stay devoted and committed to whatever it is that you are doing that's in alignment with your soul purpose. All right, so stay devoted and committed to it. Because there's going to come times where you feel like, man, should I even be doing this? And the answer is yes. Continue to move forward in your soul purpose. Because sometimes it gets a little rocky. Sometimes it gets hard. Sometimes it is up and down. Everybody know how this summer was. For those of you guys that have been A1 since day one, you know how the summer was. It was ups and downs. It was trials and tribulations. It was a lot of things going on, all right? But you made it through, and you made it to this point, and then you're like, dang, I can't believe I got through that. That was so small compared to what I'm going through now at this level. Right? It was very small, right? At the beginning of spring, coming into the summer, it seemed big at that time, but it was very small, and you made it, and you're here. All right? So your guides and your ancestors saying that once this clears out, guess what? Stay devoted and committed to your path. You can shift this. You can mold into certain energies too, and they're saying that you could tap into these energies, like shape shift into these energies and transmute them into something else. All right? You utilizing the energy to help push what you need to push through. All right? In order to manifest it. And now some of you are getting a new manifestation, like something new is going to manifest in your grounding, in your being centered, in your you being like sharp and precise on what you want. It's like a lot of new things are going to materialize into this real reality. You're able to create this reality around you based on what you're visualizing and what you're thinking, all right? And so your guides and ancestors saying, like, that newness is coming in for you. And many of you have already experienced this newness, and some of this newness, you can't even explain it. Some of y'all feeling so good, you don't even know how to explain why you're feeling this good. But you have this feeling of expectancy. You have this feeling that something good is going to come from whatever it is that you got going on. And that's the perfect feeling to have, all right? The number one root to manifestation is believing that it's already done. And so as long as you are moving forward and you have that belief that it is already done, then it's sealed. The deal is sealed, all right? But continue to have those positive thoughts and align them with those positive affirmations. And you're going to see how a lot of this stuff is going to shift in your favor, okay? Yes. You guys, your ancestors saying that childlike consciousness is going to pay off because you're just going with the flow. And then you are going with the flow. You have surrendered that overthinking, and you are just going to go with the flow and just see what the outcome is going to be. And the outcome is going to be exactly what you wanted it to be. There are some endings that are happening, okay? And these endings, y'all, they coming. Hey, these endings, ways of thinking are ending. Some belief patterns are ending. Some of these things are coming to an end. Some of the stuff that you believed before, you no longer believe because you understand that there's something different now. All right? But there are a lot of endings coming. All right? And these endings could be physical death too. Physical death. These deaths could be on the spiritual plane. These deaths could be the thought process. But it's a lot of things that are coming to its conclusion. It's concluding here on this plane. All right? So regardless to whatever is needing to be healed, you have the antidote. There's a lot of y'all that's going to be traveling, speaking and traveling. There's a lot of y'all that's going to be traveling. And like your life purpose is going to be surrounding around you moving about a lot. All right. Your particular life purpose, you're not going to be able to stay still. It's just not going to be conducive to your line of work. All right. So if you don't like to travel, then hey, you got to start loving to travel, because that's how you're going to really fulfill your soul mission. You gotta move about. Okay. You got to move about. Some of you guys, life works involve your kids. Okay, your life purpose and part of your soul purpose involve your kids. So maybe tap it in and tune it in to what your kids got going on too, because you might not be the only one that's experiencing these different levels of awakenings and things like that. But your life purpose is directly linked to your children. Okay, I'm gonna see a lot of you guys, leaders. All right, getting in those books and studying. All right, what do you need to study? You need to be prepared. That's one thing. You need to be prepared. Continue to seek your knowledge. Don't just stop at one source for knowledge. Continue to seek your knowledge, because you're going to always be learning and you're going to always be growing. No one knows everything, and not one fact is an absolute fact, because here's what it is about the absolutes. It's like there is no theory out there that's absolute fact, because it can be challenged, and anything that can be challenged is not an absolute fact. But there are facts out there. They're just not absolute facts. So you have to continue to seek, because your soul is going to continue to come into alignment with things. All right, it's going to continue to come in alignment with things, and it's going to continue to grow, and it's going to resonate differently with things, and you'll see. All right, and you're just going to begin to, your soul is going to begin to absorb certain things to be its truth. And that does not mean that you be dismissive to other truths out there. And I think that's why they're wanting you to be open to like a lot of information as well, a lot of healing information, because it's not going to all be the same type of information. It's not going to be all just one particular information, although we're all one and we're all on the same soul mission, right? But there's no like absolute truth as to what all of this is. So you have to be open-minded. Yeah, open-minded. You have to be open-minded. You have to be willing to acknowledge that other things are there and other things exist. All right? So that's what your guides and your ancestors want you to do. It's time for you to step up into that leadership position. It's time for you to really let go of those fears, all right? Whatever these fears are that are just always coming up, yo. Always coming up. They like, look, these fears, understand that sometimes certain fears are hard to like put down and hard to get rid of, but you have to work actively every day to surrender them so that they do not overtake you, so that they do not consume you. All right? But your guys and your ancestors saying that no matter what these poisons are, this hate, this self-hate, insecurity, whatever it is, you know, jealousy, envy, feeling worthless, whatever these poisons are, because anything that's of that vibration is poison. All right? Anything that's of that vibration is poison. So whatever those poisons are, they're saying that you yourself have the antidote, okay? They've given it to you. Now you just gotta ask them for guidance on how and when to use it and how much of that thing to use, okay? So that's pretty much it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this message. Me physically, like I was like, you know, I should just, you know, chill, but nah, that ain't what they want. They like, look, you gonna keep going until, you know, you just absolutely can't, you know. And so that's what I'm here. I'm here. We're grounding. We're processing. We're going through all of the different fields, you know. But yeah, even with this, I have the antidote. I have the antidote. We all have the antidote. We just got to know how much of it to give ourselves, all right? So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this message. If you like the content on this page, again, hit like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you're interested in joining the Patreon community, the link is in the description below, and I'll holler at you.